All right. So I'm going to answer this question, but this question is more of a little bit of a new direction session. I think it's a cool thing to call something a new direction session. Um, Let me just read it, and then I'll break it down. Thank you for the video, John. It has given me a lot to think about. I've been doing a lot of focusing on negative, and I'm currently going through an addiction involving pornography. I'm trying to stop, but I keep focusing on pornography. Not watching it, not masturbating, etc. And it ultimately leads me back to where I started. And the reason is because I'm still focusing on what I should really do, then is focus on something positive rather than being fearful. Thank you so much. All right, so let's really dive into this. Let's start with what my belief about addiction is. I believe that we're here to experience love. We're here to experience God through our separation, through our coming back to it, through our denying it to others, through our experience from love in all angles. That's why we're here. That said, we are here with the mission of experiencing love in some form. So we are here looking for a positive sensation. In my belief, addiction is medicating our fear in some form. So let me break it down to a primal and psychological response. So we know that when we get into a fear state, the body starts to store air. And the reason we do this is because our primal nature says that we're afraid, so there's a threat, and so we need to be ready to run. And so our body fills its lungs up with air, so we have enough air to run further and faster. And this is easily proven because every time you have a fear response, you go, you're very quickly filling your lungs with air. And then most people, when they're in a fear response, don't feel that they can breathe. They say, oh my God, I can't breathe. I'm so scared I can't breathe. It's not that they can't breathe. It's that their body is full of air and they can't put more in because they're conserving air. And that idea of feeling that loving sensation comes when you release the fear and you relax all your muscles and you exhale and you feel that separation. You feel that release of fear, right? But what we're really looking for is that loving, joyful, unconditional vibration, that sensation. And when people have put themselves in such a fear state that they can't experience it or have a tough time experiencing it, they start looking for something that makes them feel anything or anything better. And then they associate something that made them feel better with a need. They decide they need that thing to feel better. And so they've attributed that thing, that action, that substance, that compulsion as the thing that makes them feel better. So there's a lot in your question that I want to dive into. So for me to dive into it, I really need to make sure you understand this. Addiction is medicating the fear. It's giving yourself something that makes you feel positive. Well, when an alcoholic goes into a bar and they're like, oh, I need a drink, and they get their drink and they go, and they allow themselves to relax. They allow themselves to exhale. A smoker will go, oh, I need a cigarette, and they allow themselves to exhale. Pizza-holic, someone like myself, you get a slice of pizza, oh, I love pizza. And you allow yourself to exhale. The drug, the substance, the compulsion, it's just allowing yourself to exhale. That's all it really is. it's allowing yourself to release your fear. And you attributed it with pornography or alcohol or addiction. Doesn't matter what you're addicted to. It's a transference. I can't find true unconditional love, and this makes me feel better. So I'm going for what makes me feel better. That's the first part of this. I'm trying to stop, but I keep focusing on pornography, not watching it, not masturbating, etc. Okay, so there is nothing good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. You can choose to think that pornography is bad, but pornography isn't bad. Pornography is just pornography. It's the choice of making it bad. It's the choice of deciding that pornography is evil, or of the devil, or because that is the perception. Anything in this physical world is just something in this physical world. Masturbating, right? Pornography and masturbating is usually an addiction to the fear of not being loved in a big way, because it's also mistaking the physical sensations for love instead of lust. And that's a very interesting thing. It's a transference, saying this physical release, this masturbation lets me go, oh God, I feel so much better. It's the same thing as an alcohol. It's the same thing as a cigarette. It's the same thing as a drug. It's the same thing as coffee, right? I feel so much better. I can relax now. It's because you weren't relaxed before. You were stressed before. And so you're looking for some release that makes you feel better. Understand that you're always loved, and love is always with you. It's only you who are the one who feels separate. It's only you who are the one who's chosen not to believe love is always with you. It's you who've chosen to believe that you're not worthy of it. It's you who's chosen that. And when you choose those sorts of things, then you have that experience. Before I go on with the rest of this statement, I want to say how proud I am of you. I want to share how brave you are to put this comment on a public forum. It is brave. It is, and I appreciate it. And I think that it is a loving thing that someone else can learn from as well, learn from your experience. But I think it is profoundly brave of you to put this comment out there in the public. And it's amazing that you've done this. And a lot of people would have hidden this. But instead, you put it out there as a question. You put it out there looking for an answer. You've chosen to go a different direction. And you did it by asking in a very public forum. That's extremely brave. Extremely brave. And I'm grateful for you. Let me go on. I'm still focusing on what I should really do. Let's just leave it at that. Then focus on something positive rather than being fearful. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of this thing. I'm still focusing on what I should really do. Two parts of this. I'm is a contraction for I am. I am is God's name. Whatever you ask in God's name is granted. I'm still focusing. You're actually declaring that you are only focusing on that. When you say I am, looking at a joyful world where I am completely loved fully, it's very different from I'm still focusing on crap, right? That's one. Two, I should really ... I should really. Who says you should? Who's the one telling you that you should? That's your guilt. That's your guilt talking. That's your fear talking. No one's telling you you should. You're the creator of your experience. If you're the creator of your experience, there's not somebody else out there telling you what to create. You're the one who's creating your experience. So step into the idea of not shooting on yourself. Not shooting on yourself. Take this moment and go, I am creating a joyful, happy life where I feel completely and unconditionally loved, and I need nothing else to make me feel that way. It's a very different experience you would have if you believe that. But it comes down to belief, because whatever you ask in God's name is granted if you have faith. Fear is just an emotional reaction to some future event that may or may not happen. Fear is negatively focused on certainty. And the way you change that is to actively and consciously redirect when you catch yourself thinking that way. No, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. Oh, that's silly. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. One of the things that really does hurt you in this situation, and it's something that you'll have to come to grips with, is that masturbation is a natural bodily process. Masturbation is something that people naturally do, primally do. And if you make it bad, then you're denying a part of yourself in some form. Pornography, is it bad? If you think it is, the interesting thing is people might not like it, or they may judge it as something evil or bad, but why? Because they've been told that, or they think it's going to corrupt people into doing horrible things. There's nothing good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. Right? And let me look at this from another angle. If you truly want to be loved for who you are, then be who you are. Be 100% who you are. Because no one can love you for you if you're not you. Express who you are. Be who you are. And let the chips fall where they may. It was the greatest lesson I learned from my 3 marriages was the fact that I had to not give myself up anymore, because I gave myself up in 3 different marriages and they fell apart because they didn't love me for me because I wasn't being me. And so take this message in the intent that it was given. It was intended to be given totally out of love. Understand that this is love talking to you. This is someone trying to reach out to you, not even trying. This is someone reaching out to you with love and expressing to you, you already are loved, and you already are brave for putting this out so publicly. You already are in a place of creating your world. It's just a matter of changing how you create it if you really need to. And realizing there is nothing good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. And so, release addictions to things that do not actually give you the feeling by literally being the feeling first. So that's my thought on that. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.